No, nothing is wrong, but your cell phones are about to make that sound. But be assured, it is only a test. We will explain the system the government is testing just minutes from now. That will be live around 2:18. Fox News alert just moments from now. Your cell phone will go off displaying this warning you see on your screen. But it's only a test, the first ever test of the wireless emergency alert system. We have Fox coverage with Brett Larson from Fox News Headlines 24/7. But first, let's go to Doug McElway. He's in Washington. Doug.
Hi, Danny. We all heard the sound of that sometimes intrusive alert. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system, followed by a sound of fingernails coming down a blackboard, or as if you had accidentally dialed somebody's fax number. Well, that's a bit outdated in the digital age, so today we get a new alert on our cell phone. All of us, 225 million of us, or roughly 75% of cell phone users in the United States. And it won't be the ringtone that you prefer or the text alert sound that you prefer. It will be sounding more like this.
That will cause phones to ring, very similar to if you have ever received a flash flood or an Amber Alert that also came through the same system. That's the wireless emergency alert system. So the phones will, they buzz very loudly.
And there will be an accompanying test that reads Presidential Alert. And the text will say, this is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. And then a second alert will go off on radio and television at 2:22 minutes later. Now, an important note, unlike Amber Alerts or National Emergency Alerts, you cannot undo a presidential alert or abstain from receiving it. You'll get it regardless of whether you want it or not. But at the same time, the president cannot use it to send you personal messages. He can't ask for campaign donations. He can't say such things as, Chuck Schumer's mother wears combat boots. There is a tiny risk in all of this data that we create some panic. Your audience is obviously tapped into news, but a lot of Americans are not. I'm reminded of that the world's radio broadcast of the 1930s by Orson Welles, which literally caused a lot of Americans to believe that we were being invaded by Martians. And my phone is just making the sound right now. And I see no panic. I hope your phone is turned off, Dana, because I'm going to turn it back to you right now.
Thank you so much, Doug McElway. I'm joined by Brett Larson. He's morning anchor on Fox News Headlines 24/7 on Sirius XM, and it's good to have you here. So the alert worked, but my phone is on silent.
So is mine, and I haven't gotten the alert yet. What's interesting about this is the alerts actually, it goes from FEMA, it actually goes to the cell towers, and the cell towers will start sending out the alert over and over for about a half-hour period of time until everyone who has their phone on gets it. If you have your phone turned off right now, if you leave it off for the next 45 minutes or so,
I did get the alert. It just didn't make the sound. So, yeah, I got the alert. I mean, I must be on a special list that you're not on.
You have a different security.
It's a good idea, I think, to have this system.
It is a good idea. Listen, we've all, as Doug mentioned, we've all gotten the alerts before. I remember many years ago during Hurricane Sandy,
yes,
standing out watching the Hudson River come up the street, and all of us standing there got the emergency alert about flash flooding all at the same time. It's a good idea when you consider how many of us rather are using our cell phones and aren't necessarily, we don't have a radio in our pocket, though we do have a radio based on that's what our cell phone
is. But flooding and Amber Alerts, those are pretty localized events.
They are.
What would be an issue that would rise to the occasion? I mean, I can imagine, but
yes,
what do we know?
We would assume something like a 9/11 attack would result in a alert like this, something that definitely has an effect nationwide. Not, as you mentioned, like an Amber Alert's going to be localized. Flooding, weather alerts, those are very localized, which is great.
But if you get one of these for reals,
but if you get it for reals from the president, it is definitely one to pay attention to, and hopefully we will not have a situation like we had in Hawaii several months ago, where someone
accidentally, right? And I'm sorry you still aren't on the list.
I'm still not on the list.
Apparently, Brett Larson will check into that. We will call 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, find out what's happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
All right, a political battle for the ages could be taking shape, pitting Elizabeth Warren against President Trump in 2020. Could it really happen? Plus, the race for campaign cash ramping up with both parties raking in the dough. These are startling fundraising numbers, and we'll have them for you next.
I'd like to take a moment to address my fellow veterans, because I know so many of you have served our country honorably. One of the benefits that we as a country give you as a veteran is the eligibility for a VA loan for up to 100% of your home's value. If you need cash for your family, call New Day USA. With automatic authority from the VA, we can say yes when banks say no. Give us a call.
Call now, 1-855-376-1361. It's South Beach Diet's Healthy Living Sale. Join for free and get one. Laser Spine Institute and say yes to a pain-free life with our minimally invasive spine surgery.